What's going on? Y'all tuned into another episode of Exposure, and I be your boy, the Global Zoe, and I'm with the gang.
Eric Biddines.
Drego Miller.
And today's show is brought to you by the one and only Sovereign Brands, Exposure's official drink of choice.
It's all about exposure. You need the exposure. You gotta touch the streets. You need that street credibility. You need that promotion. And that's what exposure provides for the people.
Working millionaire to make same side out here at MIA, grinding like I always do. Watching Exposure.
Getting hit in the head with that exposure. You know what it is, them down dogs, Raylo, #1 DJs, #1 promoters for show from Palm Beach. It's exposed, it's wide open now.
Y'all check it out, you know what I'm saying? Keep it locked all over Florida.
And you are watching Exposure.
Hey, let's get right into it, though, man. We finna get right into it. We ain't finna hold back. Fresh off the press, Killer Mike, man. Killer Mike did something very phenomenal over the weekend, winning 3 Grammys, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to hip-hop. Shout out to Killer Mike. I saw the speech, man, and I literally had tears of joy. If I could, I ain't crying a hot little minute, but that would have been the reason. Like, I was really close to it, and seeing Killer Mike with the album, 3 Grammys. 3 Grammys at that, fellas. Wow. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it was best rap performance, right? Best album and best song, right? There you go. So that is Engineers and Scientists. Dope album. If you haven't heard it, I think he was bringing back bars and real hip hop back. But also, I don't know, when I seen him getting arrested, I'm like, wait a minute. We had an all-time high, and now we leaving in cuffs. I'm like, man, I hope that didn't ruin the moment, but what a great win for hip-hop, man. Great win for hip-hop.
Yeah,
so
that definitely ain't ruin the moment. And I want to interject and add our investment as a hip-hop community and the culture surrounding hip-hop, our investment in the Grammys, awards like what was given to Killer Mike shows that our investment is paying off, and our patience in waiting and still showing up, as which we'll get into, like Jay-Z said, still showing up and being there for it and appreciating the platforms that allow and recognize the things that we're doing.
Right.
So shout out to the Grammys for doing that for Killer Mike. It definitely, and it's just my opinion. I'm speaking on behalf of those who thinking like me.
All right.
The Killer Mike Awards, it don't pay off for the ones that was missed in the past, for those who we feel like should have gotten awards.
Absolutely.
But it definitely shows that they are trying to get it right with authenticity and not just metrics and data and what went viral. They are looking at things that have substance, activism, personality. He's a family man. He's been consistent. He
activist in the community.
Yeah, unapologetic.
CEO.
Him, CEO, businessman, barbershops. Like it shows the growth and the maturity in that the infrastructure and the organization or the administration behind the Grammys is also expanding to really get a grasp on what the culture is about and who the culture actually co-signs to be represented on our behalf.
Gotcha. Absolutely.
It was beautiful.
No, absolutely. So as we on that topic, so most Grammys wins by a rapper. We got Jay-Z at 24. We got Kanye at 24. Kendrick at 17.
Wow.
Eminem with 15. Pharrell with 13.
Okay.
Lauryn Hill, 8.
Oh.
Andre 3000, 7.
Wow.
Dr. Dre at 7. Outkast is at 6. And we got tied at 5. We got Drake, Wayne, and Gambino.
I'm surprised to see Drake and Wayne so low.
I said the same thing.
Well, don't forget,
surprisingly.
Drake, where did Drake get like 5 at one time, I think? He was in one setting. Was it 5?
I don't know. I'm
so you
surprised.
Think it was that one?
Yeah, just that one setting. Remember, he had so much he couldn't hold him in his hand?
But that ain't got nothing to do with this list he read off. If
Right.
this list is legit,
Yep.
I'm surprised because Drake and Wayne is so low on their on volume. That's interesting.
And Drake is probably one of the, I mean, as a relevant and current artist, probably the hottest as we look right now.
That's interesting.
But dude, Drake, I think some of these records that get the Grammys is like, I don't know. I feel like Drake can,
Ain't no excuse.
No.
It ain't no way you miss Drake.
No, I'm thinking longevity. Like, I'm thinking the records, like Drake can adapt to the current times. I feel like the records will be good for now. But like, do you always go back in the archive and bump a Drake record? Or does he know how to keep up with whatever the current trend is? He just always had at that moment.
We don't have a rapper with the stats that Drake have.
Outside of like when we talk
in the
about
history of the
tour,
planet of
sales,
rap.
streams.
We don't have the planet of rap. Whatever rhythm and poetry is, we don't have nobody with the volume that Drake was able to produce. And I'm not saying taking nothing from everybody else on this list, but I'm surprised that he's so far away.
Okay.
Like other people are in the teens, and he in single digits.
Gotcha.
So somebody, I won't say drop the ball. You can see where the politics may play out, where he winning too much over here. We can't give him everything here.
Absolutely.
Because some people can devour everything if you're gonna go with the metrics and the numbers. And sometimes the metrics and the numbers do make it hard to dismiss what a person deserves. Like Kendrick is really high.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kendrick. He deserve it. He's really high. So you get it right there, but then you miss it with Drake and Wayne.
You know what? Now that you said that, it's hitting me different because I would say Drake body of work has to be triple times the amount of Kendrick.
Right.
Because Kendrick come and then he go.
Because Kendrick, what? How many albums Kendrick is?
That's what I'm about to say.
4 or 3, but
I want to say 3 or 4.
But Kendrick been hitting ever since the intro, like ever since the beginning.
Drake been hitting ever since.
No. He's been getting the Grammy since he started the game.
Okay.
Drake wasn't getting them. He did a mixtape. Did he get a Grammy for a mixtape? I think he did. I think
he was nominated.
He was nominated. Okay,
the best I ever had.
The best I've ever had.
Right. So again,
and that was a mixtape.
So, but again, Kendrick was getting it at the very start of his career. Drake wasn't getting it like that.
But
at the very
you still ain't gonna find nobody have more singles.
I agree.
Chart.
I agree.
The way Drake is, the amount of singles he have in relationship to his album, it's saying he having 4+ singles per album. He doing the equivalent what Lauryn Hill was doing. He doing the equivalent what DMX was doing. He doing the equivalent like with ease. So the part where I see is unfair, if I'm justifying why that he ain't getting the Grammys, is because you dominating too much over here. If
So
we
gonna
give
limit you for doing good.
because you're doing so good, it's gonna show the favoritism it's gonna show how you swallow in the game.
That's the LeBron effect.
Yeah, the LeBron, exactly. The LeBron, it is a real thing because you wanna be fair in your sportsman-like conduct. But what I'm saying is, and going back to what Jay-Z say, which we may get into later.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get it wrong, but you should get it close to right. It ain't no way Drake is at 5 while other people are at 15, 17 and things like that. His numbers should be where along the lines in the teens with where Kendrick numbers are. Because Kendrick probably got the shortest catalog of everybody, almost of everybody you mentioned on there.
Facts.
And his
Grammys.
His Grammys are much higher. Which now I'm getting into a formula that may favor in these situations where less is more in the nominations, and where more can do more for you in charting in the other needle movers, but it may not necessarily really impact the Grammy. What's the people that's on the Grammy board?
The board, the committee.
Yeah, the Grammy committee. It may not necessarily impact the Grammy committee. I could see where you like you ain't surprised that LeBron can do a 360 windmill dunk between his legs. You like, that's
Okay.
LeBron.
Yeah, at
Even though
39,
he
at
doing
39.
some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
You like, hey, Drake dropped a song with Chris Brown. This is a banger. Of course, it's Chris Brown and Drake. You look at it. Keep in mind that is very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Because if I was to get a Chris Brown feature, I would be scrambling to find what beat, what song. I'm be like, oh, we got to get this right there. So the things some artists are doing easy, we still ain't giving them credit of how complicated it still is to outdo yourself. And that is something Drake have managed to do. He have managed to outdo himself. Even with some of his lower performing records, they still outdid what was done before, and it shows this geniusness. And I don't like how I'm riding the Scorpio wagon right now.
Yeah, you slapped him over yo.
Hey, I had to slow down. I sound like one of them sports announcers where they're getting in.
Hey man, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But shout out to Killer Mike, man. I hope everything's all right. I heard he was released already, so from jail. So Killer Mike, shout out to you, man. Big accomplishment, and we salute you from exposure. Also, we speaking on that on Hot Topic. We also have the Nicki Minaj and Meg Thee Stallion, the beefs, right? We had the Bigfoot record release. Megan came out with the song Hiss. Had y'all boys had a chance to listen to Hiss by any chance?
No, I heard. I've
Okay.
seen a few
Drego
things.
seemed like, nah, that ain't it. You ain't Drego.
So
Nah,
what is Drego? You might
going on,
know.
Drego.
I can't say too much. You know what? Call me a hater. Nah, I'm not a Meg fan. Regardless, I'm gonna go with whoever going against her. Period.
Regardless of the record.
Listen.
Wait, why you don't like Megan?
Hold on. Let me say it real quick. Team Tory, man. That's all I gotta say on Megan, man.
Team Tory.
Anybody against Megan, I'm against. I'm not a Megan fan.
Even though did is
Allegedly.
it confirmed he shot her in the foot?
Allegedly,
man.
This story still don't make no sense.
Yes, still doesn't.
It still got some
So how
kind
you
of
on
mystery.
how you on the foot shooter side?
They saying Tory don't want to be labeled a snitch, so he ain't really saying everything that happened because he would look like a snitch.
But I rather look like a snitch than look like I shot a woman in the foot.
And you and I would be on the same team. But our mindset, the way everybody don't look at it like that, I guess especially when you are so-called a rapper too,
right?
When you got that rapper title, you don't want to lose your credibility.
In his mind, he rather takes that L, so when he's released, he can still be able to get a win.
He not out?
Nah.
They gave him 10 years.
Tory in jail?
Yeah.
Almost a year now?
McChickens.
I mean, I'm sure someone of his status can get McChickens in jail. I done seen some kind of meats. I don't even know where it comes from in jail. You like, how the hell y'all making burritos and steak and how do you transport the meat from the kitchen to the? Never
man,
mind.
I seen Gucci Man with microphones. I seen Xboxes. I seen all type of stuff in the microwaves. I'm like, I don't know if jail is made up in that like the concept of what we are sold on jail being.
Yeah,
they be looking happy.
Don't forget, you got that kind of money. You can get at that kind of caliber, man. You probably can get what you want in there, as long as you ain't, hurting or helping nobody else to do nothing stupid. And I think if they got their own space, man, I don't think it's like that, man.
Okay.
I think the term they use is sometimes it's called a white collar prison.
There you go.
Where it ain't as crazy.
Because they're celebrities.
The circumstances ain't as hectic.
They're celebrities.
Like the other prisons and jails that exist.
So I'm still lost on the Megan and Nicki thing. We got to go back.
So yeah, I heard both records. So Meg, the beat was more current. She was flowing. Mm-hmm. She said what she had to say. Mm-hmm. She's coming for anybody who's coming for her. She defended herself and she talked about her ex. She talked about what's current. She talked about her body's her body. She popped the shit. To me personally, she popped the shit. I was more of a fan of the Meg record than the Nicki record. The Nicki delivery, I don't know. Maybe she was trying to think outside the box with the flow, but it kind of seemed like she was playing with it,
right,
but trying to be serious at the same time.
Right.
And I don't see how you could do that when it comes to a diss record. Like, if that makes sense.
I see what
So that's what threw me off. Her tone, her voice.
Right.
She's trying to say, is she saying some stuff? But if you come in with a hard beat and she's gonna talk that talk, I think she should have came with more of a delivery and a better beat. From me personally.
Right. Nicki was definitely playing with Meg.
But the Bigfoot thing was kind of funny. Like,
Yeah.
she had the whole theme and talked about the Bigfoot. Like, you can laugh, you gonna chuckle.
Right.
I feel like she used more of a 50 Cent tactic when it comes to the comical side.
Right.
But for the bars and the what I wanted to
Megan
hear,
got big feet or something.
you I guess for a woman you can say so.
Yeah, she's
but
calling
also,
herself a stallion, bro. So she's like supposed to be
Y'all
a bigger
saw
size.
her feet?
what size? Huh?
Y'all saw her feet?
I saw her feet, but what considered? Now I'm asking you something. Most women, what you would consider big feet for a woman, or considered big? Because most women typically have small. We usually would say, "Oh, you size 8,
Right.
7."
And kids.
When you think about it,
So what is Megan?
I think when you start going past the 10, to some,
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody,
5'10",
to
6
some
foot.
that will be kind of a big
Is
foot
she
for
tall?
a woman. I don't know how tall Megan is. We have to fact check Megan's height. Let's find out. I can fact check Megan's height.
Because she looked proportional. Like
What?
any.
So now, what do you consider
Image-
tall?
Sierra got
She's
big feet, but
5'10".
That's we would consider
that's
that
big
tall.
for a big
fella.
girl.
That would
yeah,
be tall
That's
for
a
a
big girl.
We would consider that tall.
Nicki Minaj is 5'2".
Yeah.
Okay, so we would. So if we're saying even if Megan Thee Stallion was 11, that's not big for a 5'10".
No, that's big girl.
That's
For a 5'10".
Average size girl, average height girl is 5'5", bro. That's the
No, I'm
average.
talking about if
talking
her
about
shoe
shoes.
size,
Shoe size?
was 11
Uh-huh.
and she 5'10", that's not.
No,
That's
that's
not
for a female.
unfair.
No.
Yeah, that's not unfair.
Bigfoot.
And if we saying it's in a woman's shoe,
Bigfoot.
yeah.
She's wearing men's shoes, man.
yeah, you can wear men's shoes.
She's wearing men's shoes.
You can
bro.
wear a woman's shoe.
No. She's wearing men's size.
You could wear a woman's shoe
Listen,
and woman's size. You
the
could wear
average-
a woman. You could wear a
So,
woman's 13.
According to studies, if we're gonna go to the current average size is between 8 to 8.5. That's what average is. So if you wearing a 10, like I know 13, I don't know if y'all, especially if you go shopping in person. Like I know for men, like anything over 13, you probably gonna have to special order that thing. You're gonna have to have the one pair for the what you call like the show display,
Right.
And they're gonna be like, when you want that, you want to come pick it up here or send it to your house,
That's it.
Unless you go to rack room,
and probably. But God knows, I ain't been in a rack room since high school.
or you go on the far right side of the wall at Marshalls or Ross.
Oh Lord.
Size 15 and up.
Definitely get
Hey,
the checks.
arrow.
Marshalls be having 17s, and you see cleats that you was like,
Definitely get them shacks.
yeah. Hey, Marshalls and Ross, they take any shoe that the outlet distributors will give. 'Cause, you know, they get some of the things that don't sell that be good stuff, some high-end popular things, but they go to Marshalls and be like,
Shit.
hey, we can't get rid of these size 18.
I got my first
Adidas.
Irisons at Marshalls, man. Was it Marshalls? Ross, man. I got my Irisons, them I3s.
Reeboks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now they selling for $90.
Listen, you'll find some gems
Yeah.
in the Rosses and Marshalls, because the people, when they can't get rid of something, it's just sitting there randomly in a warehouse, they'll send it out to all of these outlets, the TJ Maxx's, the Rosses, the Marshalls.
I got lucky at Burlington a few
Burlington,
times. I found some
yeah.
nice things, nice kicks at Burlington.
It's
for sure.
people that'll go to these places and they'll resell, and they'll make a $50 profit. Air Maxes be in there, and all types of things for $60.
Yes, sir.
I done seen some gems in there, and I was like, what? They got these? He got the Iversons in there. If he could have held on to
Damn,
them.
Iverson.
Now they
You
like
brought me
$90. They brung them back.
Man, they
brought 'em back?
probably $200 if you go to the right spot.
Yeah, a lot of things is coming back too. A lot of kicks I see, like they have their periods and the right person. You just the time, the season, bringing them back. That's pretty dope when it comes to kicks.
Can I say our generation is still holding it down for sneakers? Because even in my sons, all of their most popular shoes for high schoolers and now, the most popular shoes are shoes that came from our era.
No,
Yeah,
that's
Get
dope.
outta
To
here.
know.
like the Jordans, the Air Max, a lot of the Dunks, like
I just got
the shoes. Our era still got the best, the most popular design shoes.
Okay.
Even when they making new versions with modifications for certain athletes, it's still coming from our era. I don't see too many outside of Adidas and the NMDs, and there's some. I'm not a sneakerhead, so I wish I knew well what I was talking about. There is sneakers that have innovated, like everything that Kanye did. Obviously, they are newer designs. Yeah. But a lot of these shoes that these sneakerheads and these kids, I see the stuff my son wearing as a high schooler, it's our shoes. They still rocking the Air Force Ones.
Oh, Air Force Ones ain't going nowhere.
They ain't going nowhere.
All the Jordans from our era, they still rocking.
The ones still popular.
The Vans still rocking. The
classics still popular.
Some of those go before our era. I'm taking credit for shoes that ain't ours, but like some of the Vans and the Chuck Taylors. What I'm saying, the shoe game ain't really evolving like as fast as like technology and all the other stuff. We still liking a lot of the things from the past when it comes to footwear. I said feet.
I wonder what's causing that though. Like you just said,
the design,
school,
man.
Right? We talking about high school now. The design.
So the
designs.
The new designs aren't. Yeah.
The gatekeepers is stopping it because you ever see these replicas? You ever see the
fakes?
The fakes and the AI generated shoes and all these designs. You see some concepts or people that's modifying shoes. It's some fire stuff.
Yeah, especially with the forces.
Listen, it's some stuff out there, and you be like, I don't know why this ain't in the store. They got technologies that's coming out that innovate 3D printing shoes, they got all this other stuff. Just like when Kanye did that technology, that foam technology with the Adidas, that technology was sitting around for a long time. And when he went there, they showed him stuff that they had that wasn't necessarily taken off or being utilized. And he was like, oh, I want this technology. We're going to design this like this. Then fast forward, that technology took off. And it just moved. Now, they still got all these applications with new designs that people ain't necessarily rocking with. Right. Like you got a lot of shoes. You got some shoes I won't necessarily say is the $400 shoe brackets, but I see features on some of your sneakers that I'm like, this is a dope feature. I ain't see this feature on nothing. Why ain't this taking off? Then that's you would say, oh, it must be politics. Like what? I don't know what them is over there.
Are we claiming Crocs? Because Crocs was always the thing back in the day.
Crocs dope. I can't say nothing bad about Crocs.
I rock with the Crocs. They comfortable.
I rock with the Crocs. You got to make a song.
I can see I can get more of them.
Oh Lord.
I rock with the Crocs. Rock with the Crocs. Rock with the Crocs.
We're gonna do a song. Rock with the Crocs. Rock. You got to be featured on it.
Rock with the Crocs.
You got to be featured on it if you're gonna do it.
Drego gonna make the beat.
Check Crocs.
Drego on the beat.
Rock with the Crocs. Rock with the Crocs.
Now, and I also guys, it's been it's 2024. Very excited to see, we strong, we dropping and we doing our thing. And, it was kind of interesting because, when you're in the podcast world, seeing what happened with Katt Williams and Shannon Sharp, that interview, that was the last interview. If you would have asked me, if you would have gave me 50 names and said which one would do these numbers, I sure enough didn't think a Katt Williams interview would have broke the internet for 2 weeks in a, it was 2 weeks in a row, a hot topic. 50 million views in almost 2 days?
3 hours.
Almost. It was crazy numbers. And great conversation. He spoke his truth. And shout out to Club Shay Shay. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, do y'all think that interview, do you think that interview helped Shannon Sharp platform, put them on the map now? Because I noticed every interview is getting now 1 million views, right? And you've got some of these people been on the Breakfast Club. They've been on big platforms, and they're not even doing those kind of numbers. Only like 6ix9ine was doing them kind of numbers, and Birdman was the last one that went viral and did Birdman. You had like Tekashi 6ix9ine, and you actually had not Usher, what's his name? Soulja Boy. With the whole Drake.
Yeah.
That episode was like internet breaking numbers, and now Katt Williams come out the gate breaking the internet, man. I thought that was pretty insane. I watched the whole 3 hours, whatever it was, 2 hours and plus minutes, because I was in tune to the conversation, the gems, his story. He went in depth, and now they're saying that, of course, Club Shay Shay is like a safe space. So now you see the Country Waynes. You just saw Usher recently, man, and 21 Savage. So I guess he's doing his thing, man. So I just wanted to say shout out to Club Shay Shay, man, on breaking the internet. And did y'all you got a chance to watch it?
Yeah, I think I watched like 75% of it.
75%.
It was a long
ass episode.
Yeah,
sure.
it was long, but
sure.
I can't lie, I couldn't stop once I started. When I seen how long, I was like, I know I ain't gonna watch the whole thing. I got further into it than I even imagined. And I had to stop a few times, and I went into the group chat. I looked at the numbers. I was like, "Man, they doing numbers."
Yeah.
It didn't feel like what was happening.
He was
average.
He was talking about some greats, man. And,
yeah.
It's crazy because some of the facts was already out there, and people was able to pull them up. You know, it was just crazy, especially about Bernie. So that was wild, man.
Yeah, I didn't know none of this stuff was going on. I didn't even know like the comedy game had beef. I guess it ain't as funny as we think. So I didn't know a lot of that stuff. So it was interesting to hear just the tension and kind of resonate with that part. Mm-hmm. But overall, the performance was entertaining. I gotta say the performance was entertaining. Shannon Sharp did a good job of keeping it going and acting shocked and staying neutral too, which was hard. You gotta let a person talk how they want to talk.
Yeah.
But then not necessarily take sides. It was beautiful, and I was happy for the numbers to go out how they did from an entertaining perspective.
Absolutely. That just was amazing, man. I'm like, dang, I ain't think it was possible. Then he put out the clips. Them clips was doing numbers as well from the interview.
But he said, your natural allegiance to losers is unlikely.
Hey,
Cat. It was so along those lines. I was like, everybody knew that was going viral.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it was. When he stood up and said,
hold on.
Cedric in his
stomach.
I would all
y'all didn't read Cat to show all the viral moments that he did. He did the meme faces on purpose. He did the position. He did all of that on purpose because he know it can be a GIF. It can be a meme. It can be a clip that people can use. He played it really, really smart, man. He did a great job. Got to give it to him.
I think half of it he definitely had I don't want to say definitely. Half of it he had an agenda. He had something he wanted to say, he needed to say, but then there was entertainment. There was entertainment.
Oh, a lot of it.
So the performance,
yeah.
He let you know I'm a comedian first. Then he labeled everything else that was going down the line, but he definitely was. I feel like he was saying something that was important. In that, if you go past if you just get left at the entertainment, you'll miss the other things that he might be trying to say.
Yeah.
His agenda and his motive behind the things he was saying and why he chose this time to speak on them. When a lot of those things was like, they was years ago. Some of the stuff that was ongoing, and the time was perfect. So
I don't think he gets enough credit, Katt Williams. And I think that, like you said, the timing was perfect. Why I say this is so interesting, because after that interview, why did like pretty much everything he fact checked show on your timeline?
Right.
I swear it's like
right.
You talked about Steve Harvey, you start seeing the other joke was said. When he did the joke, then you see when Cedric the Entertainer did the joke similar.
Yeah.
He talked about Steve Harvey. You see the jokes very similar. He talked about this person. It was like, holy smoke. You ain't see it while it was happening.
That's
but boy,
that's the
internet got
algorithm
receipts.
lords
having
fun. They're like, oh,
yep.
here we go. We got y'all. We see what y'all doing.
That was the craziest part to me. I'm like, dang, Katt ain't too crazy. Then you notice he got a tour coming up, and and Tory Hart is part of the tour. Like, what?
Tory Hart is
Kevin Hart's ex-wife.
Yeah, bro.
Is she a comedian?
So, believe it or not, she used to help Kevin with a lot of his material.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
If you think about it and you go back to his old stuff, you would never have thought he would have talked about his family like that. He talked about his kids, his wife, his ex-wife, all of it, man.
Oh, I didn't know.
And if you see her stand up, you almost see the early Kevin.
Yep.
It's kind of scary. Like, it's very believable that she wrote and helped with a lot of material, is what I'm saying. It's almost like, shit, I don't know. It's like, I'm trying to think. It's almost like when when a rapper do a reference and you could believe, oh no, that rapper wrote. Like, you could hear that flow of the rapper, for example.
Yeah.
Very similar.
I'm glad you kept that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got respect for them boys, but respect.
Was he ever accused of her, like, giving him material?
So I want to say that she felt like she's part of that success that he has. Like, and of course the relationship didn't work out, but I think deep down when he's on his road doing his thing, she feel like then that's part of me. And I'm sure he looked at. I think that's why their relationship is where it's at. Like, it's good. It's on good terms. I'm sure he looked out. She's well taken care of, but she was part of that success when it comes to writing the materials, or whether it's how it was delivered, etc. When I seen her stand up, because I was curious now, and when I seen it, I'm like, damn, who she remind me of? Kevin Hart. Like, the animation, the whole body language, all Kevin, bro. All Kevin. So that was very interesting to see. She's pretty good. She got delivery too. She's pretty good. I'm actually gonna see T.I. this.
Hey, Katt Williams, petty for that, man.
Low key. Yeah, that's why I was going at with it. Like, I thought that was interesting. But good rollout for Katt Williams, man. And he gave a lot of gems in it too, though. There was a lot of gems in that episode. So I was thrilled and to be a part of it and to watch it, man. Good stuff there. What was the other thing?
You say you going to see T.I.?
Yeah.
He doing a stand-up set?
They're coming to the Amarant Theater in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah.
Okay.
D-Ray Davis, DC Young Fly.
Oh, they got what's this called again? It's a whole name for that.
We Them Ones.
Yeah.
I heard his stand-up is pretty good.
T.I.?
Yeah.
I'm kind of
excited
to see
clip.
it.
I heard
mixed
feelings, but I heard mixed reviews, but yeah, I would down to give him a try, definitely.
Hey, I don't mind if he get her the mic and just put on the show. He could do that too. Cause Lil Duval do his stand up and then he busts out the records on the back end.
Shoot, what you know about that, man? Come on.
What you mean? What I know about that? I'm like, with it.
That's a T.I. song.
That's the song. That was
no. I'm with you. I'm with you.
He Most Def do stand up as well. He got a few things where he did stand up. He went overseas. He did some sets. So a lot of artists can do stand up.
Speaking of Most Def, you heard what he said recently?
No.
About Drake? He said Drake's not he said he's not a rapper?
He said he's not like hip hop.
He's not.
He said
he's a rapper, but not
pop. He's pop.
There you go.
He said he's pop. Which
he would put him in that category. That's what he said.
We would agree that he got popular music. If you're going by the definition of pop.
Did you just you flipped to popular music when you said pop?
That's what pop is. Popular music.
Yeah.
We'll say Black Eyed Peas, NSYNC, and things like that. But that music transcends like geographic margins. So there may be a large group that's consuming NSYNC, a large group when Michael Jackson was the king of pop, a large group consuming and loving Michael Jackson. It's not how like country is in this margin, this is in this margin. So Drake transcends to a point to where he becomes bigger than hip hop.
I got you.
Like you not going, and it ain't saying he better than like a Mos Def that embodies hip hop. It's just you ain't gonna dominate this person in the hip hop category, but you are bigger than this vessel where everything else extends from. So he said it. Some people was looking at it like a diss. I don't think Drake would take it as a diss. I don't think he even meant it as a diss. He was just speaking the best and honest as he could, given what we see these fabrics of music being, and hip hop have to obtain and protect its integrity that is somewhat marginalized. That's not necessarily for everybody to understand.
Mos Def gave a great example. Like, you walk into a store, who you gonna hear? You're not gonna hear Mos Def. You're not gonna hear really a Jay-Z. You're not gonna hear. Who you gonna hear? Who you most likely gonna hear when you walk into a store? A Publix or a Marshalls or a mall.
I mean, which artist between Drake and Mos Def?
You're gonna hear Drake. That's what he said. You walk into a store, you're gonna hear Drake. That's why he called it pop. Yeah.
Everything good.
I mean, I don't think
he got some pop songs
because he got some, and he also got some hard hip hop songs.
Right.
I don't know if that's gonna change that though. Like, I don't think it's fair if I have the ability to do both for me to not be considered a hip hop artist. Like, I just don't.
Yeah, it's like you transcend the hip hop category. The Global Zoe's catalog, his music, his taste, his production, his bodies of work transcends a marginalized category to the point where you basically had to make up your own genre.
Right.
So it's not a bad thing, but will you be offended if somebody say, "Hey, your bars ain't you"? If we was to measure you and Eric's bars over a hip hop J Dilla beat, would you?
I don't even know what that is. I wouldn't even know what to say that is. Yeah, that ain't. Yeah, I don't.
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't think it was a diss.
Oh,
but I feel like, and this me on my Scorpion wagon again. We know Drake can rap. Like,
yes.
He got some songs where there's bars, and most def know that. But what he's saying is that's not where he's positioned. No matter what he's capable of, that's just not where he's positioned.
Was he asked? How did
somebody ask?
Listen. So they asked him, but if you've seen it, it's not bad.
But
the thumbnail sold the interview, the thumbnail won and worked the clickbait. That's exactly what it is.
And this is why it's hard for us to get certain rappers on to do interviews, or artists. I ain't gonna say rappers. This is why artists are very hesitant to do interviews, because you just don't know how your words can be misconstrued or used, because clickbait is a real thing.
Right.
And I get it. I wouldn't want someone to take what I said out of context, or don't put the whole clip. They just take a certain part, and it sounds like you're talking about a certain individual or saying something crazy.
You can say rap, because I don't think it don't seem that R&B and country music and pop and gospel, like, they not, I don't see them in the controversy that rappers get into when they say something in an interview and it end up going viral, or it had this domino effect where it's impacting so many other people's lives. Rappers be wanting to smoke.
All right, I got one. I'm gonna go way left field. So Kurt Franklin, what is he? A hype man?
Nah, he more than he. I would say he's a producer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he started out a hype man, right?
He's an orchestrator.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's an orchestrator.
All right.
Yeah, I like that.
I just like
that's
that.
safe.
Okay, yeah,
That's
I
safe.
just threw it out there.
Yeah. He puts it all together.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a maestro. He's
Definitely a producer, yeah.
whatever the guy who was holding the things, he's that for gospel.
Yeah.
Because I believe he's very hands-on in the making of the music. But he's smart enough to sit back and say, all right, your vocals is obviously you're a better vocalist than me, so I'm gonna have you do this. I respect people who do that, but he definitely bring
I was just
the
thinking,
hype. I ain't never seen nothing.
I just went back to his early music just to if you didn't know who he is and you saw him in the early music in the videos, I'm like, all right, we got a gospel hype man here. So that's that's
what it sounded like early on for sure.
Right.
Because I didn't know. First, you didn't know how long he was gonna be around, but then you also never heard nothing like this, so it appears to be like, all right, this the guy that's hyping everything up, but you not knowing he the guy.
right, he the maestro, right?
Yeah, you not knowing you didn't know that in the beginning.
And I know he just found out who his real father was.
Plies?
No. Plies. He claimed Plies still. He still claimed Plies, but his real biological dad lived close to him his whole life.
Oh, wow.
When he was growing up. And to this day, his mom still denied it, so they're not on the best of terms. But he finally found out who his real dad was at and I think it was after a funeral, a conversation and certain people talking. You know, what you call it used to be what, and then sure enough, he did the test twice. Mom still denying it. That's his father. There's no way that could be his dad. But he did the test with the man twice, and then he said he had no idea. He said he knew they messed around, but he said if he even had an idea or even questioned that he was the father, he would have pursued and tried to figure it out. But because he said he just never thought of it like that, he never pursued it, and Kurt definitely said he understands.
Hey, respect to Kirk Franklin. His story is incredible. To keep his faith, to stay within his religion, to make music, to be as vulnerable as he has, with all that he have to carry openly. That is not easy to do at all. So I never say nothing against Kirk Franklin and his story and process. Exposure is happy that you got to meet your father.
Hey man, that was a beautiful moment. I saw that. I saw his documentary. He did a documentary of this release and the tour. It was really great to see. Great to see. We also have Valentine's coming up. Valentine's coming up.
Fresh up out the shower. Hey, these dudes made. I'm not even in podcast format right now. I'm just talking to y'all direct right now. These dudes made a nasty, freaky song. I'm advocating that they have it released by Valentine's Day.
Drego.
Nasty, fresh up out the shower. Y'all already know what they talking about. It's probably one of the Global Zoe hardest verses. And I don't mean to say hard, fresh out the shower.
Pause, right? Pause, right?
Yeah, big pause.
But this is one of his I don't know other word than hard.
You gotta send me the record again. I
Dope.
gotta make sure I save it.
Yeah. They did. They think who produced it?
Drego.
Oh, you produced it? All right.
Yep.
Drego produced it. Yeah. I don't even know what the name of the song is.
Eat that.
Okay.
Yo, crazy. Man, look.
Hey, why you saying it like that? Eat that.
Drego said, "We finna promote the record, then."
Hey, you might as well.
Yeah.
It's one of the Global Zoe hardest verses.
Yes, sir.
It's the production was already dope. Drego playing in the background. It was running about 3 times before I even knew what I was hearing.
Oh, okay.
He do the hook. I don't know if he did verses. I don't know if I heard verses on there.
I don't know what he gonna do with it.
But it's a dope song. Valentine's Day coming up. Hopefully y'all get it.
if you get someone else on the record, don't play my verse. You better let.
Oh no, I didn't.
Thing.
I didn't.
Say, if you just send it to them like that.
I hit them up. They was like, "Yeah, I got you," but I never got the track back. So.
But the background on it, basically, fresh about the shower, they like to be able to be in the coochie and the booty hole, everything. They don't want nothing.
Nothing's on
outside of the shower that gonna limit them for performing their manly duties upon the lower faces of the woman.
So we grown now, we grown now, and we got kids, you know what I'm saying? And half the time you have a partner that works maybe during the day and the other one works during the night. So, you just want to be able to spend time and, you just want to get that nice quickie in. So I just trying to make it in, a nice form to,
that ain't sound like no quickie.
You'll see.
Fresh up out the shower ain't sound like no quickie. It sound like
it's grown folk music.
Like you was ready.
Grown folk.
You say eat that.
Grown folk.
Be on the lookout for that. Drego Mill featuring Global Zoe and who else? I don't even know. Eric might.
He gonna put some verses on there.
You know what? Eric might have to jump on that. Let's stop playing.
Eric got records now. He got bad bras all on me. Bad bras all on me.
I fell off.
No, it's there. Once it's there, it's always there.
Eat that. I don't know.
You gotta get Triple J to call Eric. If Trip call Eric, we can get the Eric verse out of
facts.
You gotta.
I don't know what to say because y'all said some nasty stuff. Especially it's already two dudes. So if we used to shoot a video and all of us gotta be
who said we shooting the video? No, we gonna leave that
one
alone.
Why can't it be a girl? Why we can't get Snapple? We can't get Diamond.
I'm sure Drego can work. We can snap. Hey,
because you don't want to triple dude it up.
I see you throwing some good names out there, but we'll see.
Okay, to be continued. Y'all be on the lookout for it.
We'll see.
But I wanted to talk about something. So back in high school, right, when it was Valentine's Day, I used to I used to get the girls chocolate. I used to make these mix CDs, call them the Wet Sensation, and I would put like 18 slow bangers, like the 112s, the Usher, H-Town, Ushers, anything that was Casey and JoJo, and I used to just give it to the girls and be like, boy, hoping one of them pull up. That was just back in the day, my game. Silk, if you
in my
yes, sir. But I'm just laughing because I'm starting to think of those times. Hey, come on.
That Bel Air hitting, huh?
Rose.
Yeah, I think he went.
And them boys still get busy. You go to one of them shows now, they be performing their hearts out, dog. When and who was that? Wait a minute. Was it that? I went to the James L. Wait, was it James L. License? I think no. This one was at the Miami Theater, Miami Theater, Miami Arena. I'm sorry, Miami Arena. Yeah, they brought a show. They doing a good show now. It was better than 112. 112. I only noticed Slim and it was 4 background dancers.
Damn,
could have fooled me.
I'm in here when I come through.
Yes, sir. But that was my little, you know what I'm saying? That was my way to try to get some play, get the girls to notice me. So now we in adulthood. Like, what did you had a girlfriend in high school? Y'all had girlfriends in high school?
Yeah. I was the guy that came try to beat everybody with the biggest bell.
Okay, you brought it to school though.
Yes.
Did we bring it to school or you celebrated Valentine's outside of school?
I brought it to school to make sure because the women used to like. They like to show off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the flower, I was the flowers, the big bear.
Mm-hmm.
I try to write some bars in the card. Yeah.
Oh, you wrote bars in the card.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I got into the mix game outside of school. So if I would hit someone outside of school, I'll do a little mixtape like.
Okay. But I used to put a little cover on there too.
Man, I ain't go that far.
Put like the lips in like a candy. Yes, sir.
Man, I used to put Usher interludes to confession in between other songs that connect with other songs. I used to really give it some thought, man. Look.
All right, copyright infringement.
Man,
Usher could have came and got you, boy. Oh man.
Okay,
but
so what do we do today?
That's what I was about to say. That's a good one, man. I mean, it's usually dinner, flowers, in a gift.
So boring.
No. Nah, it's like a gift and you come up with a gift of choice. You always try to switch it up. But you got to think about it. I started going non-traditional. Sometimes Valentine's that day, all the restaurants is packed. Everybody lit.
Ain't no point.
So it's kind of like ain't no point, right? So sometimes I'm like the day before or the day after, I would just choose to go to a spot. So I've been breaking away from that. The dinner's always nice, but you know, I feel like flowers and chocolate is standard. In a card, that's like the package, bare minimum package.
You still that's like still your thing?
I always try to do an experience.
Right.
No. So that's part of it. But there's always gonna be an experience. We're gonna go somewhere, do something that you've never like done before. I try to think about something that you ain't never done before or experience and then go do it.
That's nice.
I did I think the one I went all out one time. I did a connecting thing where I sent her here, and then once it was done, they already had another location for her to go to get her hair and her nails done.
That's what's up. You dropped the bag on the hair. My dog said the hair done.
And then after the hair and nails, she is sent it to go get a wax and all that.
Okay, fresh about the shower.
So, and then
so
after
now, the wax, do you have to know her preference and the things she's into before?
Because she used to
How
go.
do you know?
Yeah, she used to go. So she already had an account now.
Okay.
But she didn't know. You know, I used to drop her off, but I didn't go up. I never went up. So I already knew there was an account. So I told them once she gets that done, can they give her a card with an address and location to go to the next location. This time she didn't know where she was going, but she followed the location, met me there, and we got a whole full body couple massage for like an hour and a half.
Yes,
so that's where we ended it. And because the food thing was always there, it's just we did it, but not on the Valentine's. You know what I'm saying? So I just tried to. That was the biggest one I've ever did. Really spent some money on that one. So yeah, that one's really good.
Okay.
That's a nice one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm
y'all embarrassed me.
Yeah. How embarrassing?
Cause I don't
you
have
had to go out,
stores.
but you had to go out on some Valentine's.
Yeah,
you got a store. You ain't just been living on.
No Build-A-Bear or nothing like that.
I never did.
You ever did a Build-A-Bear?
I see you drawing some shit. Putting some I see you putting something together. Nah,
I did, but not like what he just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Not like not like how. Cause you a good planner too.
Mm-hmm.
You are far more organized than I am.
I try to be.
Yeah, you plan. Hey, the Global Zoe be a couple of months before it even happened.
I try to be.
But I was rebellious in all things. I want to say structured in like traditions for a while. And so I was that weird person that, you know how people be weird, like, people like, oh, you don't know what Christmas is, that they just want to get into it. I wasn't that person, but I was kind of like using it. I would use it as a reason to not get involved in something I didn't really understand. So then when it came to actually just enjoying, the culture that we're a part of, you kind of miss out trying to overthink or be so true to yourself in knowing what you're doing that you ain't properly celebrating the themes that's creating these memories. And I ain't really even understand that until I had kids, and you're forced to do it for your kids, but when it comes to people you're involved with, they're not a person you're involved with, not pressuring you to follow the traditions of Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever the case may be, because they respect them.
Okay.
So I say all that to say I probably sucked as a Valentineer for a long time because I never had it within me, and maybe this could be from my Jehovah's Witness background. I never had it within me to really set up the foundations to participate in celebratory seasons and holidays. I never had that within me. It was always implanted in me, stay away from it. So then it also gave me a reason to be cheap too. So I could kind of, I'm already not conditioned to really follow through.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, we could do something to look cool, man. What you want to do? Go to movies? All right. We'll hunch a little bit better than we hunched the other month.
Put some effort. We're going to get ready.
Yeah, a little bit
at a time.
Let's go a little bit more. Maybe you bought an outfit. Maybe little light candles this time, and whatever the case may be. It wasn't no Uber Eats. So
did you acknowledge it though? But when you knew Valentine's Day was coming, does it make you, I don't know, like, do you see and hear other people doing activities and say, damn, maybe, or it didn't even really bother you, like, that everyone else is trying to do something?
I was the Scrooge. To be honest, I was the Scrooge in some ways. I never expressed it, but in my mind, I'm like, I see everybody doing this because it's the season to do it.
Yeah. I
don't know if, like, in my head, if this was how you wanted to perform with your partner, you could do this throughout the year.
And that's
so there was a hater in me that was just hating, like, we can do this anytime. Why we gotta stop now? Especially when you coming up in relationships and y'all don't have the money like that. February getting ready to come around, there's all this pressure around that to meet up that expectation. When that pressure is on, you like, we can do this anytime.
Man,
we don't have to meet this date for everybody else. I don't care about nothing that everybody else got going on. Why we can do this today if we want to. We can do this tomorrow.
My Valentine wasn't always my girl. It was just someone I asked, and it was some guaranteed nookie at the end of that.
You said nookie? You went Jackie O on us?
Hey, I'm just trying to keep it clean a little bit, but no, real talk. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't always my girl, and then it was somebody I had my eye on, and I asked, and then it kind of grew in maybe into a relationship or past that, got straight into what I really wanted. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you a story real quick. Mm-hmm. I had a Valentine, she didn't show up, and I walked around with a big ass bear and a big ass bouquet of flowers. Man, the card I got rid of because it was for her. Man, the person. I always have. Y'all know who she is too. We grew up with her, went to school with her. Especially you, Eric. She definitely was around your folks. Went to elementary, went to middle and high school. But long story short, again, she didn't show up, and I had it in class, and I was like, I made it look like it was for her, and I went ahead and just gave it to her, and she just went crazy over it because she didn't have a Valentine's. But I just went ahead, gave her this, and told her, hey, can you be my Valentine's? That was the end of it. I never went for more or nothing like that, but I just wanted to see her reaction because I always had an eye on her. But yeah.
That was weird.
Long story short, my Valentine's didn't show up. The person it was meant for.
That's still weird. Your Valentine show up, so she just look.
Long story short, she was in the streets. That person was in the streets. I found out later on. Skip Valentine's to be with how high school women used to do it back in the day. There's cut school to be with an older guy back in the day. So long story short, the person I had an eye on.
We ain't never see that like some creep shit right there.
Man, I know, right? That. We never really gave a damn back in the day.
The brother that was able to pull up after school in the car when we couldn't drive. Mm-hmm. We ain't never say. Mm-hmm. I used to be a little jealous, like, damn, man.
That made me get my car early.
Got a bad one, and he could drive. I used to be like, damn. Mm-hmm. But I ain't never think like, how old is this dude? Yep. How old is this dude?
It's weird. Yeah. But fast forward, I look at who we would consider older. I look at them as young now too, because they might have been 24 years old, messing with a 18-year-old. Both of them.
No,
we would hope.
I was a freshman, sophomore.
Both of them babies.
A lot of that was
both
like,
of them babies.
Nah, bruh.
The 24-year-old and 18-year-old, both of them.
Slide back in the day, guys wasn't driving like that at that age, bro. It was cars. I'm sure was expensive. Like it wasn't that easy.
Oh, I ain't the situation you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know who that. I don't know who that was.
I can't even imagine.
But I do look at a 24-year-old as a baby as I would look at an 18-year-old. At my age now, and I ain't
Like,
100.
I
might be 100, but
when we was
it's just
era.
everybody. All of them are the mind state is still very young and youthful. Go to your mind state at 24.
No, Eric. When we was in school,
at 24.
That's nah.
Yeah, I was grinding at 24.
Yeah, my mind was even on that.
But I've always
You think
had
you was a
somebody
man?
close in age. Was I think I was a man? I had to be. When I say that, no, and I only say this because I guess my upbringing was so different. Like when I say this, not like it's like we did okay, but like my house was so small. Like I remember every Saturday if I had somebody coming over, a friend of mine, like it was just so small. Like I try to clean it to make it feel like it was more to offer.
Right.
Like I don't know if that makes sense, but in my mind, I'm like I ain't got much to show. So
mentality.
if the room is only this big, let me vacuum. I took back in the day Haitians, we had those plastic mats covering as much carpet. Like the pathway from the door to wherever you go, you had that piece of plastic that you laid on the carpet.
Spikes at the bottom of it.
You killed
It was originally white, but it turned like gold.
Turn yellow.
So I used to take that, put soapy water and hit it with the broom and try to clean that up, but it was only so big. It was a two room apartment, so it was only so big. So you had the living room, kitchen, and that area, patio in the center, and then you had the 2 bedrooms in the back. So if you came to the crib, most people didn't make it to the back. So that front presentation, I had to stay up on it. But I just kept saying, when I'm saying that is I felt like I had to hustle. So like mix CDs, I felt like to make money and to buy the things I wanted, I had to figure out a way to do that. Because my parents ain't always have it to say, here you go. You know what I mean? So the hustle culture for me, I think it started at 15. When I had a computer downloading music and making CDs, I used to come to school with the whole spender. And I'm trying to sell that because I'm like, this is going to be my back in the day, 5 T's was for 20. X Studio was $30 an hour. I could buy school lunch. So back then you on the Fruitopia cookies.
Ooh, you was balling if you was getting the Fruitopia.
Taco
You know what I'm
snacks,
saying?
calzones.
So can you imagine? This is how I did all this, bro, with the spindle of CD. You feel me? But what I'm saying is I felt like, and then I left the house at 19 because me and my dad had a big argument. But since that same day, I've never had to look back and ask my parents for nothing at the same time. So I just felt like when I left the house at 19, I didn't know where I was going to go. I just had to, I said, you know what? I'm gone. I got to figure it out. So I started hustling even more, figuring out what's the way to make money. So giving you an example, like back in the day, once I learned how to print business work for graphics, I actually started doing designing. I learned Photoshop on the side. I started doing small business cards, small party flyers, because I was broke. And I said, if I could design, that's some money. Then I learned certain people needed their graphics printed. So if somebody's hitting me, hey, man, I'm trying to get my things printed. I was able to get the wholesale price from the distributor and add on $40, and they still winning. I add on $40. All I did was forward a flyer for a print job, and I just made $40 by hitting the forward button on my email. So what I'm saying is I started learning all these little traits, and that's what kept me afloat. Because I don't know if y'all remember, but back in the day, Z had a van rap.
Yeah.
It had me on there, 4 Pound was on there, and Dreddy Boy. It was that red rap.
Yeah.
And I had to pay to get my face on that on the van. I had to pay for my spot. But at the same time, I'm living in this like a 2-2 apartment. And but listen, my check was only like $400 a week. Like, yeah, so I'm trying to live, put food in the fridge, be a rapper. It was just so many things juggling.
You
so I learned.
You was balling at the time at that age.
What, $400 a week?
Nah.
Yeah, cause rent. Think about what rent was back
rent
then.
was like 900.
Yeah.
But you still had the internet. You had like I'm thinking you had little.
Today, look at, you can't even do that with double.
Nah, it wasn't 5. It was about like maybe if you're doing like 6, 7. Yeah, if you're doing like 8.
You gonna what a 2-2 cost today? Gonna be like 2 bands.
19? Two bands?
It's about 2.
So it's over double that, and people still ain't. Everybody ain't make the cost of living to increase drastically from what it was back then.
Slap.
So
I was
400 a
living
week.
check
To check.
to check.
Yeah.
I remember going to the places where you could borrow money. Them quick
The
cash
loans,
thing.
the loans, yeah.
There you go.
Payday loans.
That's all I was doing. I did that every other week.
Payday loan, yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I wasn't doing. I swear I was doing it right. I could barely do anything like, and I was just trying to do music, playing for my little studio time and whatever I could pay for at that time. That's when we was on the run with 4 Pound.
So is that what made you feel like a man?
Absolutely. Cause I had nobody else to lean on. Like I wasn't finna go back to the parents' crib. I had to figure it all out. And I did it respectfully though. I ain't had to do nothing I hadn't robbed nobody. I ain't had to harm nobody. I did it legit, figured it out, bossed up, became an assistant, like moved up in management. I did all that during the darkest and hardest times, like trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shoot. But when I say a man, yeah, because I think it comes with maturity, responsibility.
Yeah.
It is a man. Like that's what I would want for my son. Like if anything else. You know, because you ain't guaranteed them going to college. You ain't guaranteed what route they're going to take. But when that responsibility, treating people with dignity and respect and knowing how to survive, that's important to any black child in today's world with the stuff we got to deal with, from police to just maneuvering out here. You know you always got to be 5 steps ahead. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the most important attributes when it comes to a man. And a provider, because I survived. So yeah, I had to figure that out from 19, and I never looked back. But at 19, a lot of that started happening, because I wasn't ready for bills. But I look at people and they like older than me, like it's like I hear their situation. You know how you be like, you just try to analyze. Okay, but like I hear you, but if I had to figure it out at 19. How can I say it? It's not you don't feel bad, but I don't feel as bad because I'm like, you got more resources and you should be able to, you have more of an advantage that there was no internet. There wasn't a lot of side hustles. Now you can do a lot of more hustling today than we had back then. At least I feel that way when it comes to that.
No, that's facts.
Yeah, like it was just hard, bro. It was hard. But that's why I tell people, but when they see you today, they just think you just had it made. Mm-hmm. I got people on the outside that just think, no, you just got it like that. You had this and that. And it's like, nah, there was some times where I didn't know how it was going to go. Or there's sometimes I had to watch people perform on plenty platforms, on plenty stages before I got a chance to go on that stage. I had to work. I had to figure it out. I remember chasing Z to be, when y'all boys was a slab and when y'all was doing shows, I remember chasing Z for 3 months to get on the show. And at first, he never gave me the time of day. Like, for example, but if I would have just said, oh, he a hater. You know, if I had that attitude, where would I be today? But I kept chasing him. And I remember this, like, this is what I mean by, like, hustling, right? He gave me a call one time, and I even wasn't ready. He said, hey, I got a show. Send me a picture. I ain't got no picture. But I had a little... the digital, at least I had a digital camera. So me and my dog went by his crib. He took some pictures of me. I took pictures of him. And thank God for Photoshop. That was my photo shoot. I'm like, yeah, it's the best I could send. I ain't know how to book a shoot yet or none of that. And I had to send him a picture. We made the flyer and it was game time. But that was a win in my book. I'm like, man, we on our first flyer. Met up with Z. He gave me a good amount. And I made sure everybody I knew had a copy.
Hey, nice.
Those were the days.
Nice. Those were the days, dog. Yeah, you just brought me back. I'm thinking like, damn, that's a story for you. But it was grind. And I think that's one thing Z really liked. It was like, he going to see you work. He like, all right, I can work with this. I'm going to put you on a lot of flies. But yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's nice.
So,
I like your definition
of a man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I ask that sometimes, often, because it get cloudy. It get cloudy because, and I asked my mom this, like, if she was to give a definition of a man, like somebody, like a person who was like the ultimate definition of a man, she couldn't even think of nobody. Like in pop culture or people she knew or anything. Cause she could find something she didn't like I guess she could find something she didn't like about what made that man not be a man. Ooh. But then for me, I seen a lot of good men being talked down upon when they were good men, but if they, I want to say their certain choices didn't make sense. Example, it was a dude, he was involved with a lot of women.
Okay.
You would call him a hoe, but he was a father to all of these women that didn't have daddies around. Okay. So when he passed away, it was like 3 different women and their families and their kids who felt for him and considered him a father figure because they daddies wasn't there. Now, me, I'm going back, I'm like, that's a man. He stepped up. Yeah, he got coochie, but he stepped up and he filled a void when these other men was absent, but everybody called him a hoe. But the kids was just happy to see the presence of a man in their life. Keep in mind, he probably a hunching a few single moms around, the county or the city or whatever the case may be. But he left a very great impression when there was no other impression. So I'm like, that was a good dude. I can't say nothing about him. And even all the children of the people that would talk bad about him appreciate him being there, even if it was just for one conversation.
Right.
So that's an example. I would say he's still a man. He was a good dude. I would say he even stepped up and did something that others would say is frowned upon.
Correct.
Yeah.
But those people wouldn't have had that presence that was there to make them know that, hey, it's men that care. And I was one of those children, by the way, that he was around and just let you know it's men that care.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a few times, it's men that care. My mom wasn't the only one. We all knew that. But everybody felt his presence because he was a good dude when he showed up and he got coochie. Is that bad?
Played his role, I guess. Or some a role.
Can some people be impacted by that, by him getting coochie? Absolutely, right? Because women, there's some women that's gonna be hurt because they, rightfully so. They feel like, if we're together, we gotta have that trust, and you don't want to lose that trust, right? But that's still a man to me. Although he may have some flaws, that don't take away from your.
Or are they enhancements?
The flaws?
Or are they enhancements?
Now, I guess it depends what you got, what kind of agreement you got, right? Because there's some relationships where that works.
That's it.
Right? There's some relationship where that works, where it's like we already know what it is, and isn't what you call it? The comedian doesn't D-Ray Davis?
He's in a 3-way relationship. Yeah.
Exactly. It works for him. It works for them. You know what I'm saying? So I really think it's how you present the situation. It sounds like Kevin Gates talk about it too. I guess when you up front and we honest about it, and we understand what this is, if that's your thing, then that's the thing.
It's always a killer when it comes later and they find out for themselves. If you can say it up front, it's a different story.
I'm about to say, I guess that's what you got to do. If that's what that person wants to pursue and they find the right person to receive and understand it, then I'm with it.
All right. I think it's a lot more to it. I think it's probably maybe 2-3 different parts of growing into a man. Of course, the hustling part is definitely a big part of it. I say that because my experiences, I think when my son was announced that she was pregnant, something just clicked in me. it just went straight to hustle mode, and I never would have thought the way I
doing these things.
Yeah. So I did so many things that I said I would never do, and I did them. And then from that, I think with more time going by, not including my son or nobody, it's just becoming the man, becoming that man. You know what I'm saying? Like finding myself and knowing of it's still rights from wrongs and knowing how to move and all of that. Just that completes you. Like when you find yourself, I think that's when you become that man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because you can claim and say you that man, but when you really find yourself and you know what you stand for, I think you become a man. When other people can be like, yeah, that's a man right there. That's when you can verify it, like, okay, yeah.
You found yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say at 29, bro. At 29, 30. And I didn't realize it until like maybe 4 years later. Cause I wasn't, I want to say with everything, like my kid, girls, all of it, with life period. Like I was done with. It was easier to say no. Okay.
No
hard.
to.
All right. So okay, here's what it is.
Okay.
I stopped being a people pleaser. I think when I stopped becoming a people pleaser, when I stopped that, as in I was doing things to please people and it wasn't helping me. I was just doing it to.
Putting others first. More
That
like,
too, and but pleasing other people, not really taking care of myself, not putting myself first. How about I say that?
Okay.
So when I found that, when I realized that, and I became, and that was just a part of it. But when that part clicked in, that's when I knew I became that man. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's roles in it. You know what I'm saying? You got to grow into that.
Damn, how do we get
You
I don't know.
You a people pleaser?
I think I used to be a people pleaser.
I like people pleasers.
I used to. No. I probably. Okay. I hate to say it. I probably was that yes man back in the day. I wouldn't tell you no.
I like that.
Nah. It wasn't healthy.
Yes man's a little different.
It wasn't healthy.
Yes man like goes with everything.
Like
so
yeah. Oh, I'm down. Yeah. Like I'm down with it. Oh, it's whatever. Okay, let's do it. Like, and I know it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy.
Oh, so things that were being done, wasn't right.
Right.
You
But I
still
was down for
went
it.
along. Okay.
So was you? Then you wasn't doing it out of the kindness of your heart.
I used to, yes. But I used to get them both confused. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a people pleaser. I used to love to help people. I still kind of do now, but now it's a whole different.
But do you feel like you got it when you say it like that? So you kind of, how did it made you feel good too though?
It made me, of course. It made me proud that I was like, oh no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to move. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to become Drego, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't fully me. I wasn't there for me, you know what I'm saying?
Because I was only asking in a sense, like, you know how some people like building people that's broken?
Correct.
Like trying to fix?
Correct.
In a sense?
Correct.
And like, I've experienced this a few, like in my younger days where you meet somebody and you feel like I really can help it. Like I really got this, and I kind of caught myself a few times, like, oh shit, this you broke. Like this ain't that. Like what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. Like this ain't that. That person's gotta want to be better and do better.
There you go.
And I'm with you.
Let's just say, and I take accountability. I knew where my flaws were and I fixed them. That's what I meant. That's another part of it. Becoming a man, where you know where you fuck up and you own to it and you fix it. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely makes you a better person. So that's part of becoming a man. Yeah.
Keeping it 100
with yourself, without nobody, you know what I'm saying, involved in that situation.
So was there a time you thought you was a man and you wasn't?
Yeah. Like Global said, like at 23, bro, I'm flying across seas.
You did some you did some.
I left the U.S. I never traveled. I said I would never travel. And when I went, I loved it. I started doing things I never outdo, bro. Take care of family, bro. I put my family first. My life was on the line. I said I would never do some stuff like that, and I did it. When I did it, bro. Left my wife home. Because we were, I'll be honest, we was broke. You know what I'm saying? Had a baby. I was making money at home, but I was working Walmart. She's Prego. She's working, and it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough.
What was her Walmart paying back then?
Shit, what was I getting?
$8.25.
Nah. I was overnight. Maybe like 11 and some change.
Okay,
Oh,
you was up
I'm
there.
about to say you was up there.
You was up there.
But back in the, if we going back,
Yeah,
in the
this
day,
is 2000,
11?
2009, 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not 2010. But I was like, nah, forget that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I went, and when I came back on vacation, you goddamn right, I went back to fucking flossing in motherfuckers' faces, bro, because motherfuckers was disrespecting me when I was in that bitch. But yeah, so I came back. It just felt good to be able to take care of family, man, and get us out of situations. You know what I'm saying? So that did make me feel different, but I was still young. You know what I'm saying? I was still young-minded at that age. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. That's some good stuff. That's a good conversation, Slab.
Mm-hmm.
With the whole what makes a man. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
you
it.
set it off.
Put my perspective. Y'all put a lot of things.
I would love to hear what the ladies have to say about that, man.
Man, I think they'll make it more about, see, if it's going to be beyond being a father, I think it's a difference the way Slab was, the way we was just talking.
Okay.
We ain't really, fatherhood is important, but we didn't make it all about fatherhood. Because, you know, that's just, I feel like that's different category. You know what I mean? But that's, it was good. It was really good. It made me just think a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I question my mannerism, if I guess you use that word, that kind of flow nice.
Yeah, it did.
Because I try to take into consideration the reference of what others would consider a man to be and how a man would carry himself. And then I kind of, I'm at conflict with some of those, I want to say traditional references. Because there's things that men had to do to make things happen that I probably would never do. Like, you might respect the man that do whatever it is necessary, by any means necessary, to provide for his family. It's fair to respect the man that do that.
Yes, sir.
You ain't no question about that. But then I say, is it also respectful? Is it also fair to respect a person that ain't just gonna do anything?
What's anything? I think that's a
like
that's a little scary.
To do anything to survive. Like, there's things we can all probably do to live a better life, but we chose not to. We chose not to take that route, opposed to some of our peers. So, would you not respect that man? Like when you said you did everything legit, you getting them $400 a week, cash advance, you did whatever you had to. Even though you knew you probably could have did some other things to make some moves, but you chose not to do that. So we'll respect the man that will do all them other things to take it to the next level, so they don't have to do that cash advance and what you struggled doing. But should we not respect you for allowing yourself to struggle just to do it the right way? Just to do it the way that you chose, without some of the risks that may come with other options?
And I guess it could be illegally then. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We saying that.
Yeah, that's what we saying.
It sucks. I get it, man. So I had a friend, you know, and he did things good to me, but also he would share certain things he did, and I'm like, damn, why you doing that? Because I don't even see this character in him. And I would talk to him from time to time when I did bump into him. I would talk to him. I'm like, bruh, man, you could just. And one time he's like, all right, so what you suggest I do? And I'm like, I threw some suggestions, and he couldn't do it because of his background and etc. And he was like, dog, you know, like, for example, I remember one time he was like, dog, if I, like, even if my auntie, like, if he sold drugs to his auntie, like, if I don't do it, somebody else will. is what I was told. And it was also like, if you can't give me something to replace this with, you ain't saying nothing at all. Kind of some people mentality.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And I kind of caught myself like, damn, I am trying to preach the right word, but I don't got a solution for what you doing.
Ain't nothing.
And I kind of caught myself that day, like, so usually when I hear somebody's circumstance, if I can involve or help, if I know I got a solution, I feel like that's when I'm more vocal. But I can't go preaching to somebody about how they providing and how they feeding because I don't know their circumstances or what all they got going on.
Facts.
So sometimes I'd rather just not know. You know what I'm saying? What somebody is doing. But that did wake me up when he talked to me that way. I was like, damn, you're right. I've got something that's working for me and I understand it. But your circumstances and backgrounds and your priors won't allow you to do what I'm doing or for me to even help you. So how can I tell you to stop feeding your family if that's the way you do it? I was stuck. I just left that alone.
So that's where my crossroads with what a man is, because you got men that will make it happen that way, and they making it happen, and you respect it. But then you have men that say, I'm not taking those risks to make it happen.
Okay.
Maybe it gotta work out another way.
Here's the thing. If you're a man, you got to know how to crush your ego at times to be able to hustle to get what you need to get done. I'm talking about the right way. If you can crush your ego, and I'm gonna give you an example. I said this to someone, and they were doing the bad thing. I told him, I was like, bro, that ego you gotta get rid of it, because he rather do that than to go work at McDonald's. I said, bro, if I have to start over, I will, because that's what I told him. And at that time, I had money in my pocket. But I told him I don't care. I started, real talk, I started over 3 times. But if I have to do it again, I will do it again. Then I know where I'm going to end up if I don't do it.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So his ego, he rather do something bad than to go fucking flip a burger and make some change. And you ain't got no record, no nothing. I'm over there making bread. I'm telling you to come. You worried about the goons that we have out here. That's 10 times worse than what we got at home. You feel me? So these boys, when they go try to kill thousands. One person try to get thousands. But you got this one guy and his homie that's driving to do a drive-by and try to get away with it. These guys ain't caring about their life. When they coming to get you, their life is gone with you, but with 15, 20, 50,000 people gone with one person. So you worried about them, then these guys over here, that's 1, 2 guys in the car that's trying to get away after throwing bullets at you. How that make sense? So I've said that before. I'm like, dog, I will start over. I will go to McDonald's and start over again.
So would we?
You got to break that ego, bro.
Is he a man for what he?
Right now, I
in that situation, not
right
now, but in that situation.
Nah, man, he coward. You scared. What you scared of? Yeah. If you a real break that ego. Break that ego, man. Who you showing?
Yeah, I guess people's opinion. People saying, "Oh,
Facts,
I saw
too.
such and such working at McDonald's." Like, I
Bro,
get it.
break it.
You don't want to be picked on.
Break it.
People talk bad about you.
That's what I mean by it. That's what I mean by it. So what's gonna happen? And
so you see where this dynamic of a man starts to get fuzzy, because you got the situation where you respect the man doing what he need to do,
yes,
legal or illegal. But then you also don't respect the man doing what he doing, legal or illegal.
But you see, I think that's the difference. That's the key. You said respect. He's still a man. We still acknowledge he's a man, but we don't respect it. I think maybe that's the difference. He's still a man.
So now that's a good.
Respect a man. Or don't
we respect the grind. We respect the grind.
Yeah.
He brought up something that I didn't take into consideration. Are you a man if you don't have respect?
Ooh.
I think that's it right there.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like,
yeah,
that's it.
I don't even got the answer to that.
Yeah.
I said it, but
but I'll be honest. If I'm not respected as a man, then I'm going the other way, bro.
Because to me, that's
it's
big.
a problem.
I'm big on that.
Right, respect.
Because I feel like I won't affiliate with you.
Right, that's it.
If I feel that way,
Easy.
Anybody I felt like that way about, because whether if you cross the line or I don't think you stand for the things I stand on, then definitely, to me, that's not that leads to other things that can lead into worst case scenarios or bad outcomes. I've seen like that gut feeling when you see somebody do some flaw or shady stuff, and then later down the line I hear a story, I'm be like, oh, I'm not. When you're not shocked, because you're like, damn, you were moving like that. That's what I think sometimes that could lead into, bro. If you don't, I don't think you should be rocking with folks that you feel like you can't respect them. I don't want to be around it. I don't associate myself with that because I feel like I don't know. I can't keep it 100. I got to be myself around you. To your point, like, and as a man, I don't know. Like, let's say you are out with somebody. I want to know if I respect you. I feel like if a situation were to occur, worst case scenario, we would have each other's best interests at heart.
Yep.
When you don't have respect for, like, if that person got flaws and bad habits or things that's just not right, I feel like, dog, depending on where you are, you wouldn't want certain shit to pop off because I feel like you on your own.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to be in that position. If you see what I'm saying. Like, that's why when people, and that's why I respected the OGs. Like, back in the day, when I was around certain crazy stuff, do you remember the OGs always telling you, nah, young buck, we doing this over here. You got to go down that way. Go play sports. Go do music. Like, they always wanted to see you go the opposite way, although they about to get in some shit right over here. That look at you like, where you going? Like, you like, I think that's what's missing.
That's where you belong. Yeah.
And today, like, we don't got the OGs looking out for the younger or saying, nah, this ain't it, bro. We'll do this. Go try to get an NFL. Like, try to make it to the NFL, bro. We rooting for you. We want to see you on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, go out there, go hit the weight room. Like, I don't see that guidance. Like, the kids today, unfortunately, because it's a lot of single family homes too. Like, but that's what's missing. Because I remember my coach was like a dad. Like, when you play football, for example, whatever coach said, you respected it. You thought it was everything. You know what I'm saying? And we need more figures like that. We need more OGs to stand on principle. That's all right. Because I had all my friends, at least when I was coming up, were older, and they guided me always right. They always gave me gems and told me, go that way. No, do this like this. I don't see enough of that. I don't mind giving game to somebody who's up and coming and younger on, hey, bro, you might want to go that way because this way, this is what that leads to. We need more of that, especially in our culture. You know what I'm saying? We need way more of that.
You know who was that for me? Rest in peace, Mr. Officer Pun, man. I don't know if you remember Officer Pun. Y'all remember Officer Pun? It was a Zoe, yeah. Oh. It was a Zoe. Died on a motorcycle accident. Okay. Yeah, he was a Zoe. Officer Pun. I don't know. Where I grew up, you was across the tracks. The cops fucked with us. They showed us love where we grew up as kids. They played ball with us. They played football with us. They played basketball. Like, they even helped us get a basketball goal.
So let me say a name, and you're probably gonna agree with me. So there was like Evan's face.
Yeah.
He cut hair.
Evans was another.
Older.
Evans was another.
But always guiding you to do what, like, you see what I'm saying?
One time for Evans, man.
I'm just giving a name.
No,
when
that's real.
You said the part, I'm thinking,
OG.
who that area?
Yep.
OG was like, he'll cut my hair.
Yep.
What you doing with the music? What you got? Like, he was always trying to guide and like, yo, I want to see you do this, do that. Hey, look out for this. Like, there was always an OG around, dog, guiding.
He definitely.
He was one to me. He
right.
was always solid, bro.
Yeah.
From day one.
That was, you know how I hate to switch the topic, but that was therapy barbershop for me, 101 right there.
Okay.
101 for me, man.
Just saying, because I knew he was across the track.
Yeah.
I used to just go for football. Like, when we used to play football out there all day, drinking water out the water hose. Yeah. I remember Chris' house. We used to go to Chris' house. Like,
I was 2 houses down from him.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? Like that's where I was at. We was out there all day, the whole weekend.
Man, yeah, we don't have it no more, bro.
Yeah, now that park be dry. Playground nice and pretty, but dry. I don't know where the kids at no more, bro.
So what Jay-Z say?
Oh, so Jay-Z gave a speech. He got the Dr. Dre. It was a Dr. Dre award, Impressed Award. I don't know the exact name for it. They gave it to Jay-Z, and he appreciated. He gave thanks to Dr. Dre and many others around him. He knew his facts. He knew his history. He definitely prepared to accept the award in honor to those before him. But then he also went on to say he spoke about the Grammys and was like, we want to get things right, at least close to right. And he let them know how there were situations where it was obviously wrong and where artists went to boycott, as Dr. Dre boycott, as many other artists boycott, and as Jay-Z himself boycotted before. And he brought up that there's an artist. Everybody's assuming he's talking about Beyonce. He didn't say her name. Mm-hmm. He didn't say the artist's name at all. Mm-hmm. But he said they got the most Grammys and never got Album of the Year. And so it don't even make sense when you're doing the math. When you're just doing the basic math. Just as we see what Drake did and he got so little Grammy awards. Mm-hmm. So he brought that up to say, at this point, it's a huge flaw. We want to keep supporting this. We do appreciate it. We do like it. We still got to keep showing up. And I definitely like that part because he showed that, how people can come across bitter and act like they don't care. And you be like, so why say anything? Just stop showing up. Stop supporting it. You know, especially the urban community. Speaking be about things. Yeah, the culture. How the culture can be about things like that. He let it be known, honestly, no, we do appreciate this. Don't think we don't want a Grammy. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a goal. We appreciate it. It is what it is. But we want y'all to get it right, and we have the right to speak on it. Mm-hmm. So people certain asteroids have to step out there and catch those comments for us to be able to say, this is something we want to get right. We ain't complaining. But those who are in position to speak and throw themselves out there to speak, it's very brave for them to do so. Even if the person we assume it is about is his wife. So I really appreciate it because it was real honest. He showed his nervousness. He showed his humility, his bravery, his honesty, and that he appreciated it. But he also checked them. He said, hey, some people don't even belong in the category. That was probably like the boldest thing.
He was on his Katt Williams energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Katt Williams energy is cosmic. Mm-hmm. So it's something that's floating around. Mm-hmm. Don't be surprised if we don't see more of it. Where people speak in their mind so boldly that you like, what is going on in the atmosphere? Because people saying something to this exposure. Ooh, that's the podcast.
That's a plug.
Yeah. Hey, we on point with the astronomical alignments.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So as Katt Williams said, hey, is this the season of exposure? We exposing things. As Kanye West said, it's up. As Cardi B said, it's up. If it's up, it's up. As Jay-Z said, we got to get things right. As many others are saying, we have to get things right. That just might be the theme of the season, to where we ain't gonna be able to suppress certain we just ain't gonna be able to suppress. Yeah.
Shout out to Jay-Z. I think that was dope. Well needed. I think Jay-Z gets a lot of flack for not speaking enough, especially on certain topics. I know the NFL thing was a big thing. What with Jay-Z, they wanted to know what he was gonna do. But shout out to Jay for speaking up. Like you said, I think it's the best of both worlds. He acknowledged the Grammys and the importance of it, and at the same time, things that need to be addressed. And when it comes to certain artists maybe not being nominated or winning, he talked about it. And I think we can only respect that, and that's dope. So shout out to Jay for speaking up and standing on business. What they say today, standing on business.
Oh Lord.
What you got, Drego, on it?
I was just gonna say what Plaus said about it. I guess he said white folks don't care about not being accepted by the black folk shit. In parentheses, the BET Awards. So why black folks care so much about being accepted by the white folk shit? In parentheses, the Grammys.
I want to say because I feel like BET is so.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
It's
that
only
word.
no, it is. It's come on. It's BET, Black Entertainment. It's only Black Entertainment.
But I just feel like the Grammys is broadcasted
Right, global.
on a different scale,
Correct,
and presented different. Where people actually dress up and look good,
right.
And I ain't saying I know everybody got different tastes. We can accept that, but sometimes you go to you watch a BET show and people barely got clothes on. So
it's a club.
I think it's gonna give you a different kind of attention. I think if BET changed some of the standards, if they and hey, this is optional, but I think if we actually change some of the standards, and because they do great. I know the Humanitarian Award, they got different awards out there, Lifetime Achievement Awards. They got some dope awards, but I think sometimes the bikinis, the two pieces, like people come to these BET Awards barely dressed now. That's just image. I'm thinking branding. I think it starts with that. What kind of attention or how far do we want to go if people naked? Pretty much when you're thinking of a award show, I think it just has to be presented better. If you ask me, I do look forward to some of the performances, but when I think Grammys and BET, to your point, that's what it is.
You're
like,
right.
Why do people want to see some? If they want to use the words now, ratchet or ghetto. They might that I could see how others on the outside will look at that like, what the hell is that? Y'all want me to take this serious? I could see that. So I just think whoever is in charge of that, they'll just have to present it better, and I think I think more people will be willing to participate, sponsor, and appreciate it more. So that's just how I feel on Plies' take. I get what he's saying, but I don't know when the last time Plies been to a BET Awards though. So I mean, our people got to continue to support what we have because that is ours. Right.
I like that. I like that question Plies asked because he left it as a question, right?
Right. He questioned mark it.
He didn't make it seem like he knew what the answer was.
He didn't.
So I would respond and say, who is saying that? What makes us think white people don't care about the BET Awards? Or black people don't care about the Grammys? I see people caring. I only know about it because I know many people that care about it. No platform can survive without the other demographic also embracing it. At least these two.
I think it's coming from someone who see so when the Grammys come, more black artists complain about not winning.
Correct.
And it being rigged. They're more vocal on that. And I think that's what Plaza is coming from. When he says the whites and the blacks, whatever, that's where that's coming from, because more black artists have been vocal about not winning the Grammys. And didn't somebody piss on the Grammy?
Kanye. That's why they have to stop making the
Give me an example.
So we put black entertainment into a margin, right?
Yeah, that's what.
So it's marginalized. This is a limited.
That's where I put
scope.
Yes.
So you can't expect a limited scope to have the expansive reach as an expanded scope as the Grammys that also cater to the Latin demographic, that also cater to the European demographic, the international demographic, and the Black African demographic and the subgenres around it. The Grammys is bigger than any one color. Whether we see lighter skins being represented, the reality may be this person is European, this person is Irish, this person is Italian, this person is from Germany, these producers are from Asia. They taking all that in consideration, and we still seeing tone.
Yeah. So would a white rapper participate in a black entertainment? Like, so would Eminem perform that BET Awards before?
Yeah.
Have he?
Yeah.
I want to say yeah. I probably want to damn sure say
yeah. I don't know.
To your point, I get you. That's a good point. I get. So with that being said, because I'm like, well, so what do we do with white rappers? We're not gonna ever acknowledge them on a BET Award show because it's black entertainment. You see what I'm saying?
Have we? That's a good question. I don't know the stats on there, but I feel like Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay.
Mac Miller.
Okay. Yeah.
MC Hammer.
So we had hip hop awards, right? We got hip hop.
Vanilla Ice? Which MC Hammer?
Vanilla Ice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, I call Vanilla Ice MC Hammer.
No.
Oh.
I was about to say, wait, MC Hammer was black.
Hey, forgive me, 1980s. Forgive me, 1980s.
Them turtles gonna hunt you, man.
Hey.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I get what you, and that's a good one. That's a good one with plot. Like, I guess what other award show, and I'm assuming it can only be the BET Awards, right? Because there's no other award show.
We ain't got no source no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That can be broad and not be locked in like a hip hop or BET or we don't got nothing
else.
We it's fair to accept that some people might not want an award just because they black. They might not want an award just because it's from a black organization. That they only getting this award because it's from Black Entertainment Television. It might feel like an upgrade to get an award from a general organization.
Absolutely.
The Grammys don't. There's no color, genre, or anything associated with it.
Doesn't Spotify or Pandora, don't they give awards now? I think they do now, don't they?
I don't know. You the first.
I've heard, they got categories, but I don't know if they give. They do. They just name it. They just name the award. That's what they do. They don't, present it. Okay. They just name it on the shows. I think TikTok actually has one now too. But with the news with TikTok, they took a couple of. They took. Record labels took their music off of TikTok. So yeah.
Oh, I ain't know that.
Yeah, that's news.
Or
Universal, and it's a lot. It's a big.
They're not getting accommodated what they want.
Yeah.
So, I guess I don't know how much TikTok is paying because they're not paying the labels what it would make sense for us to use the music in the videos. So that's one platform I know that Universal, and I'm sure others will follow to remove. And TikTok gonna have to figure it out, or eventually have to negotiate so we can keep those music on those platforms. Because don't you, when you use the song in the video, don't it accumulate as streams now? Because I know when you upload on like Distro or TuneCore, you get the TikTok logo. So I know it might not be a whole lot, but it's going to be some work to be done to generate that. So I'm all for it. I think the artists should be getting accommodated for their work.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If it makes some money and move the needle.
More money in my pocket. I'm for it.
Right now, it's no money but problems.
I'm all for it. So with that being said, y'all tuned in to another episode of Exposure, and we are boom.
It's more than just a podcast. It's exposure.